Hi everyone, lovely to see you all again. And I'm intrigued today because I've got Jules Williamson with me today, and I'm thrilled because I love wood. I like to hang around wood shavings, reminds me of my childhood. I love the smell of timber, and I'm enthralled by anybody who has skill with wood, whether it's carpentry, joinery, etc. And Jules, I met at an art exhibition, so you might be able to see a few things behind him. He's here to talk to us today about his work as an artist, as a wood turner. So, welcome, Jules. It's lovely to see you. Can you tell us
Right.
more about how did you get to do this?
Well, I've been in carpentry all my life. I'm a bench joiner, wood machinist. I then progressed into management and started to miss the wood. So I then invested in a lathe, went onto YouTube and watched how to turn a bowl, taught
Oh,
myself how to turn a bowl. The rest of it is literally trial and error. And over time, I've perfected the wood turning. I then went into colouring because I found that wood sometimes needs a bit of colour. So I went down the resin road, and then Joe Sooners have a product big in America.
oh,
They were doing cosmic clouds on their wood. I had a go. It was good fun, but you can't cover everything in one pattern. So I then started experimenting with patterns and colours and designs. And slowly I've progressed into where I am today, where my work is now collectible and inspires other people on the wood turning, but also the colouring of wood, because it makes it more artistic. Even though you can do artistic form
mhm,
with wood turning, there's also artistic colouring.
mm.
So I now do both. My work is now seen in galleries, art exhibitions. I still do a few craft fairs, but a lot of them I'm now a little bit too overpriced for some. So I have to pick and choose where I go. But it is mainly art galleries, art exhibitions. And it's just progressed from there. And it's
Yeah.
just been so enjoyable. I now do it full time. I quit my management job, took a gamble, and now I'm doing what I love doing every single day of the week. And I
That's
work 7 days a
amazing.
week now, and I
Oh,
love doing it. It's
yeah.
not like it's a bind. It's not something I think, oh, in the workshop today. I get excited every morning when I know I've got a project to do. I've got a colouring project to do. Because everything I do, and every single colouring piece I do is different. There's no identical pieces and no
Mm.
identical colours. They're all different, which makes me very unique. Plus, I'm getting more outrageous, and people seem to like the wild patterns.
Right.
So it's very testing because you have to think outside the box. I use different products. Most of my colouring products are Joe Sooners, which is an acrylic paint. I use their metallics, their pearlescent, their iridescent,
Mm.
and I mix them, which no one's doing. So I will mix a pearlescent with an iridescent to
Mm.
make it more poppy, to stand out on the wood. I always apply it to a black surface because it makes it more loud. So when you apply the paint, it makes it more proud, makes them stand out, and it makes the iridescence and the pearls work better. If you put it onto basic wood, I found that it's very bland, and it wasn't working for me. So again, it's been all very experimental, and it's been fun.
Yeah,
And
very
it's
inspiring. You must be inspired. You must wake up sometimes and think, I want to try that. I want to do that. Or now I've done this, I could do that. It must be a whole world, a bubble that you live in of
exactly, and
creativity.
there's
It's wonderful.
it's not all applying by paintbrush. There's so many different ways you can apply the paint. I mean, I've gone from tin foil, cling film, sponges, rolled up tights, fresh flowers. It is something you look at something. Oh, I wonder if I could. You do a tester piece, and you think, do you know what? That works. I should do one with that. So it's every day is a learning day. Every
Yeah.
day when I'm out and about, I see things and I think I could do that on wood. So it's progressed from hand painting to hand printing, really. I mean, the
Right.
sea sponges are my favourite.
Oh,
They're not cheap to buy because you have to buy a quality sea sponge, but you can cut them open and you
wow.
can pick your patterns out of the sea sponge and then use that to apply the colours and mix the colours up. And of course, every time you cut a sponge open, it's a different pattern. It's a different design. So it's good fun. I mean, I'm enjoying what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I'm not earning what I was as a manager, but I'm making a living, which there's not many wood turners can actually turn around and say that they
Yeah,
can do.
that's true. And it
It's
must be
hard work.
so fulfilling,
It
especially
is.
when we're young and we've got families and we're on the ladder, if you like. But as we get older, it's so much more fulfilling to be completely
Yeah,
yourself and free, even though you're working
yeah.
7 days a week.
That's it.
I'm like you're
That's what
free.
makes it exciting. That's what every day is like. So many people Sunday night that dread Monday morning,
Yeah.
where every night I look forward to the next day. Doesn't matter what. And as I say, I'm 7 days a week, and it's not because I have to.
Hmm.
My partner says, "Oh, why don't you have a day off today?" I said, "Well, what are we doing?" She goes, "I don't know. We'll think of something." And by lunchtime, I'm making something in the workshop, ready for painting
And you
because
want
it's
you
what I
want to
do now.
keep your partner though. You don't want them to get bored.
But she totally understands. She gets what I'm doing, and she loves what. I mean, she always says, every time I bring a new piece in, she's like, "Oh my God, can we keep it?"
Ah,
No,
ah.
this is
That's the
going to a
hard
gallery.
thing. That's a difficult thing with artists, isn't it? Is letting go of your work. I know a lot of people
Yeah,
struggle to sell their
well, at
work,
first,
and
yes.
yeah, and there's
At
bit
first, it
sometimes
used
it's
to
because
be,
you don't want to.
wow, yeah. And when I first started doing it, it's like, oh my God, I've got to keep this. But now it's, oh my God, people have got to see this.
Yeah,
And to me now, it's when I produce something like, I think it blows your brains out, and you just think, oh my God, that is so cool.
yeah,
You now
yeah. Can we
want
have a
to,
look then? Could you pick a few
yes,
pieces up
I
so
can
that
put up a few pieces.
yeah.
So
Ah,
this is a wood turned platter. So the wood's turned myself, and then
beautiful.
I
That's clever.
hand paint. So it's like a checkerboard effect.
Yeah,
But it's done in iridescence, and it's a mixed metallic iridescent. So when you get
yeah,
the light, you
yes,
can see
yeah.
and so that's probably 11-inch diameter. It's got a small bowl in the middle, so I can put more design on the outside. But again, they're getting very popular where it's had more artwork than it
Hmm.
is bold, but they're all functional pieces. They're all food safe. I'll give you
Yeah,
another piece.
yeah. That's quite a nice size for a table. Oh, now
This
I love the
is
spindle. I love that spindle. That's beautiful.
they're called finials.
Are they?
This
Sorry,
is the
finials.
finial. The finial is just a fancy way to lift the lid up.
It's
So
beautiful.
I don't know if you can actually see the colours.
But yeah, it's not working great, but it might be better when the video's full on. But
Yeah,
yeah, you can see
it's
it.
just
And is that difficult to do, that findly piece? The
well,
handle?
it was to start
That's
with.
quite fine.
Exactly, and it's again, it's learning a technique on how to do it. When I
Yeah.
first started doing it, I was trying to turn the whole thing in one piece, and they snap.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically, you start from your tenon. So you form a tenon on the bottom, which slots into the lid, and
Uh-huh.
then you work backwards, and you do a bit every time. Because
Wow.
if you do too much, they flex. So you do a
Ah,
little bit every time till you get to the end, and then as you're doing it, you sander seal it, turn another bit, sander seal it until you get to the end, and then it cuts off the machine, and then it's down to the spray shop. Colour.
beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. And
So
of course it's
it's
multifunctional again, isn't it?
again,
Yeah.
it's a decorative container.
Mm.
It's they're all functional pieces. It's all been hollowed. I've got a label inside. I take the label out, but they're all hollowed out.
Oh,
So
I just want to touch, when I see things like that, I just want to touch. Do you have a
this is
problem with people touching your work when they're on
no.
exhibition?
I encourage people to pick things up, but the problem is, at the end of the day, when they're highly glossed, you end up with sticky fingerprints over it all. So what I do now is I leave the machine foot on the bottom. So if they get a bit sticky or the fingerprints, I can put it back on the machine and give it
Uh-huh.
another wax, another clean, just to polish it again to keep them clean.
Beautiful.
Um,
Yeah.
so you got this is what I done day before last.
Oh,
Again, this is a sycamore.
oh, yes. And of course, you're using different woods. Yeah.
Yep,
That's
that's
beautiful.
it. The
Stunning.
sycamores, the horse chestnuts are the ones that really, really polish up, really, really
Are
shine them.
they? Are
Where
they?
with the
Uh-huh.
ash, the walnuts, they're quite grainy, so you always get a grain effect on the
Yeah.
paint. Where with
Yes.
these, as you can see,
Ah, yeah.
they come up much smoother with the gloss
Yeah,
finish. And
very
also I
modern,
formed,
very
yeah, and
modern
I formed a
looking,
little
aren't
lip
they?
on this one for
Yes.
where the bowl starts. And then again, it's all hand painted, and I'm trying to get the light.
Beautiful. Yeah,
That's a,
very,
that's a,
very different as well. Very
well, this is
different.
what I'm trying to be. Is completely different.
Well, I think you're succeeding. I
I'm
know,
getting
but
there.
I've never seen anything quite like them before.
That's it. And then, of course, I'll still do the unpainted. So this is
Yes.
a walnut pot. Again, it's got the finial, the black
Yeah.
lid. But some woods like this you wouldn't colour because it's criminal. I mean, I do
Oh,
love my wood, and when you get a nice piece of wood, you don't want to be colouring it because you don't want to take that away.
yeah.
So then and there's a small one. So one more. This is a horse chestnut.
Oh,
So
yes.
it's iridescent green with black lining.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Again,
does
this
this
is
process take a long time? Is it in hours? What sort of time would
well,
that
it's
take?
a big platter is a day.
All
It will take
right.
me at least a day. I mean,
Yeah.
the turning side is quite quick because I'm quite proficient on the lathe now.
Uh-huh.
Platter is quite easy to turn, but again, it's the processes of doing it.
Hmm.
You don't fully
Hmm.
turn platter, you turn the face, but you don't turn the bowl. So you form a
Right.
rim, that then gets down to the spray shop. I ebonize it, let it dry, hand paint it, let that dry. One coat of gloss, let that dry, and then I take it back to the machine shop, and then I form the bowls. And that way I get a nice clean. Obviously,
Uh-huh.
when you're painting, you get splashes, and
Hmm.
it's easier, I found, to let the splashes go over, then turn the bowl, and that way you can
So
form.
each piece is totally unique, isn't it?
Every piece is individual
Mm.
and unique. I don't. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been asked. People have seen my work, and they've seen it in a shop or a gallery. They see the price and they think, oh, I'll think about it. They go back, it's gone. They
Yeah.
then contact me and say, look, I've seen one of your platters. It's one of the triangular patterns on it. Can you do another one? Well, I can, but it won't be the same
Mm.
because one, the wood will be different because every single piece of wood is totally unique.
Mm.
And also, I freestyle. I don't have jigs, templates to work on. Everything is done
Uh-huh.
freestyle.
Mm.
So I can produce a triangular pattern, but it will be slightly different to the original. So
Mm.
it's hard because people see your work and they think about it and then they come back
Oh,
and want to buy it and it's gone.
yeah.
So
That's a
you have to
lesson
explain
in
that.
life, though, isn't it? If you love
Well, this
something,
is
buy it.
well, this is what I like about the art galleries is that it's a different clientele. It's
Mm.
people go to an art gallery. I know it
Yes.
sounds terrible, but they have money.
Yes, they
And
go
it's
to
not how
buy.
much it costs, it's
Yeah.
how much they love it.
Yeah.
And the gallery in Rye, which is the Clive Sawyer, he has people come in and they literally just say, oh, bag that one for me, please. And
Yeah.
they don't say how much it or they negotiate the prices. They just
Mm.
love the work. And I've got one lady who collects my work. She
Yeah.
comes in every couple of months and she buys a piece because she just
Wonderful.
loves what I'm doing
Mm.
and no one else is doing it. So it's totally,
Yeah.
and they're all signed. So every piece has been signed on the back to authenticate it's my work
Yeah.
because in the art world, everything has to be signed.
Yeah.
So I had to remember. I mean, I made a piece the other day. I done a pot the other day, and I put it on Instagram, Facebook, and within 10 hours, I'd sold it. And I've
Mm.
had a piece go to France, to the Mayor of France. There's a piece in France. I've
Yeah.
got pieces all over the place
That's
where
great.
people are.
Yeah.
I've got one going to Australia, I think. A
Yeah.
customer bought it for friends. He's off there to see friends and family. Want to buy something totally unique from England,
Mm.
and he thought of me. And he
Oh,
come round and he commissioned me for a piece. He chose the colours. The pattern was irrelevant. He said, "He's do what you like. It's just they like blue and green. Can we do it in blue and green?
mhm.
Can we make it a platter?" So
Yeah.
it's good fun.
So
I
where do you
mean,
see this going? Do you feel that you're going to just carry on just following your own intuition and your own loves, or do you have a plan? Would you like to expand in certain ways?
I'd like to get known. I'd like to be. I mean, I want to get into the London area. But the problem with London is that a lot of the galleries, they're fine art galleries. They don't take on 3D work. So it's London is at the moment is the place I want to be, but it's the hardest place I'm finding to get. You know, when I do fairs, some people don't fully, they see the price tag and they're like, oh, that's a lot. And you explain to them, "Well, but I spent a day on this. It's taken me a day to make this. You're looking at 8 hours labour, and that's without materials.
Plus unique, one off.
Plus it's unique. You won't see another
The
piece.
thing is that I think you hit the nail on the head earlier. It's some people go to look and might buy. Some people just decide they want to buy and go and find what they want, and they're willing to buy. They're your customers, aren't they?
I mean, the galleries I've shown the Rye Gallery. He was very hard for me to persuade him to come into his gallery because I was 3D. And I said to him, like, you know, you've got sculptures, they're not selling. You said to me, you know, that you can I have 2 months, 4 pieces, and we'll see what happens. And he's like, well, all right, then go on then. So I thought, and within the first week, we'd sold a piece. Within the first eight months of the year, we'd done £10,000.
Yeah.
And he gets a commission. So he's earned £2,500 off me in 8 months for literally just allowing me to come into his gallery. And now he's got 20 pieces in his gallery. I've got a window display because people like my work. It draws people in. Wherever I go, I do occasionally I do a shop display in Hive, and I do the window display, and I get 2 weeks in the window. It's a local shop. I've known them since day one. They allowed me to go in the shop and sell, and they always say as soon as your stuff goes in the window, people start coming in because they're just fascinated, and no one else is doing it. There's lots of wood turners, and I mean, when I do fairs, and I always meet 4 or 5 wood turners, and they all say the same thing. Your finish is amazing. How do you do it?
How do you do it? No.
Yeah, this is the problem. They want to know how you do it. I'd love. So obviously I'm not teaching, but I do encourage and advise people if you want to take up wood turning.
Yeah, I do know somebody who's older now and doesn't do it, but he loved wood turning and he found it very relaxing. Is that an aspect that you feel? Do you get some
I love
internal
it. I'm a classical person music wise, so I have my classical music playing. You just get into that mode and you just think nice relaxing music. You put your wood, and of course with wood turning, it's like you think, like, today I'm going to do a finial pot, but you don't know the design till you start turning. You get to feel the wood and how well it turns and what you can do with it, and how brave you're feeling to whether you want to experiment with beads and undercuts and.
Wow.
And again, this is what's made me better at what I do because I'm enthusiastic. I don't want to turn bowls all day long. No. This is what so many wood turners do. They turn a bowl, they're happy turning bowls, and they turn bowls. Or I turned a bowl, I've done 4 or 5 bowls, and it's like, well, this bowl needs a lid now, so what do I do? So it was literally, I mean, I'm self-taught, but I have the knowledge because I've been in the wood industry all my life. You know, I was a spindle moulder for 6 years, a specialist moulder, where I used to make the cutters for fond machines. Then I was bench joinery, then I was site fixing, and then it's into management, and then you can like start missing the wood.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got a joinery shop, I've got wood machine, I've got a spindle up there, I've got a lathe, I've got various machines, but it's now my paint shop, and all my machines have been pushed into the corner because I need 2 areas. I can't turn and paint in the same place because of dust. Painting was something that I don't class myself as an artist. I've tried oil paintings and they're disasters. And everybody's got something they're good at. It's finding it. And it turns out that wood turning is quite natural to me. And now, for some reason, I'm a good painter. And people are fascinated. And the finishes. I mean, the finishing is having the right products, using the right. And it's not buying cheap products. I mean, I use mainly chestnut products because they're the best products. And they all work together. They don't react. So I can put my ebonizer on. I can hand paint with acrylic paints. I can then gloss on top, and it doesn't all bubble up. And I've wasted my time. I've learned in the past where I used to buy cheap sprays, and I've ebonized something out of a cheap can. I spent 3 hours painting it. Looked perfect. And I thought, right, now we gloss it. And I've got a cheap tin of gloss, sprayed it, and then watched it bubble. And then you can't, but this is the learning process, and this is what you have to go through, and this is where I am today.
It's also having standards, isn't it? Because you're seeking to perfect your work all the time, which led you to having such not just exclusive pieces, but beautiful pieces.
And they have to be perfect.
Mm.
I mean, if I get an imperfection, if I paint something and gloss something and there's an imperfection, if I can't correct it, I'll scrub it and start again. Because I don't want people to pick up my work and say, oh, there's a little mark there.
Mm.
You know, when I've put stuff in galleries, and unfortunately I've had a piece come back and it was damaged. It was just a small, tiny little chip, but I just scrubbed it, started again, because I want people to pick up my work and be happy with it, and not, you know, well, yeah, it has to be perfect. Quality control. When it's all finished, my partner has to look at it, and when she's honest. She says, well, no, that's scary. I don't really like that. I'll take it on board.
You want an honest opinion. Yeah,
that's it. And you know, so when it goes out and people goes into gallery, I'm confident that that piece is perfect. And there's nothing wrong with it, and nothing will go wrong with it.
And I think that's something that a lot of artists or craftsmen worry about, is dealing with rejection, dealing with problems, having confrontation, having to replace or reimburse people. They see that as a big minefield, and that stops them from being productive in the first place.
But this is where, if you allow it to go out perfect, you don't have this problem.
Well, you're a wonderful inspiration for anybody that's thinking of following in your footsteps, or even just doing some kind of craft work or artwork themselves. But I think you've covered a wide plethora of your experiences there. I'm just wondering, as we draw to a close, how is it best for people to contact you if they are inspired by you, or they want to find your work online? How would they find it?
There's an Instagram page, which is Julian_Williamson_Wood_Turner.
Okay, yeah.
It's not bowls. It's not simple little things. If you're creative and you've got the passion, open your minds. You know,
I think on that note, if you're creative and you've got a passion, open your mind. I think that's a great way for us to finish today. And I think that's amazing what you do. And I'll put the details of your Facebook and your Instagram, etc., and the gallery down in the comments and in the descriptor of the interview. And I'd ask everybody just to glance behind you again once more to see some of the variety of things. And thank you so much, Jules.
Thank you.
Jules, and we'll come back and find out more about your next exhibition later. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's lovely. Right. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.